Hey everybody, how are you? It's been quite a while since I have put a video together, but this newest video is for my photography talents. And I am going to be talking on this channel, which is usually Digital Film Guy, and it is now Digital Film, Digital Photo Guy, because I'm talking about a camera, man. Let me explain a little bit why I chose this camera. I teach photography, I teach filmmaking in public high school. I have a Mac lab and I've been doing this for quite a long time. And one of the things that I encounter a lot is a question by students, hey, my mom wants to get me a camera. Do you have a recommendation? So I always say, well, you want to get a camera that has manual settings, but you don't want to get too expensive of a camera. And listen, cameras can run the gamut, right, in terms of how much you're willing to invest. I always say, look, somewhere in the vicinity of $300 to $600. But I found this Kodak, and I've got a bunch of stuff I'm going to show you after I finish yakking. I found this Kodak PixPro AZ252 camera. And again, you're going to see another bit of media on here where you're going to see zoomed in some images that I took. I'm going to go over the aperture. I'm going to go over the shutter speed. I'm going to go over the ISO. I'm going to talk about various functions. I'm not going to talk about everything, but I will say this. I endorse this camera, okay? You can get this camera well under $200. It depends where you get it from. Online, you can get it from Walmart. As you'll see, you can get it from B&H in New York, and it's a good investment. The reviews for this camera, typically I've seen them at like 4 out of 5 stars. So remember, if you like what you hear, subscribe to my channel. Digital Film Guy, today Digital Photo Guy. So let's take a look at this first interior shot. Now what I'm doing in these series of shots, I'm bracketing to show you how different the shots look when they are adjusted a certain way. So the main problem with this is the shutter speed is too high, or too fast rather. Now you can't really make a judgment call on this camera based on this, but I thought, why not? Start with a aperture f-stop of 4.7 should be, you could make that a lot lower, obviously. And the 80 ISO you could make a little higher, but it's mainly the shutter speed. So let's see what happens when I adjust this camera. All right, everybody, so as we look at the settings, everything is the same except for the shutter speed. The shutter speed is a little slower. And because it's a little slower, more light's coming in, and this is the result. Let's look at another adjustment. So as we go to the next shot, there is a significant change in my bracketing. I made the shutter speed 1/8 of a second. I kept the aperture of 4.7. And again, I think the camera automatically set the ISO to 80. But look at the camera has adjusted and the shot is looking better. So this camera, again, takes really good interior shots. You see the ISO is still the same. The aperture has gone from 4.7 to 4.2, more opening in the lens. And also the shutter speed went to 1/5 of a second slower, and look at the result. Okay, everybody, so I went from 4.2 to a 4 aperture f-stop number. That means the lens is a little bit more open. The shutter speed has been slowed down to 1/3 of a second. And then I adjusted the EV exposure value. Remember, you can go up or down depending on whether you want more light or less light. Okay, so that wraps it up with shots for the interior. Now let's take a look at some shots and go to the outside conditions and what you have to do to adjust the camera correctly. All right, everybody, so here is our first outside shot. And in this shot, what we have is I have adjusted it so that I can accommodate the light. This is set at a 11.07 f-stop number, which means it was bright, so I had the opening very small. I also set it at 1/250th of a second because I wanted the shutter speed to be a lot faster because, again, the lens is taking in so much light. So as you can see, everybody, the shots outdoors are wonderful. If you want, you can work in shutter priority. You can work in manual mode. Here I was working in manual mode. Don't know if I was in shutter priority or not. But what you can do is you can just go ahead and tinker with the shutter speed. Keep the aperture the same. You don't have to start. If you want to, you know, a lot of times you're just bracketing both your shutter speed and your aperture. But in this shot, I think this is the best one. Kept it at 11.07 and just went all the way down from 1/250th, which is where I started in the shutter speed, to 1/50th of a second. Okay, everybody, so let's go to some other features. This camera also has what's called a panorama mode. What I love about this is you can set it in panorama mode. You go and you hit a particular button and setting. It's real easy. You take essentially 4 different shots. You follow the same direction. So I went from left to right, and look what I came up with. I got a full, almost 180-degree shot, starting on the very left. And I would just go until the arrows lined up, and 4 different times you set the setting, and this is what you get. Pretty cool. So let's take a look at another panoramic shot. What I love about it's very easy. You just take a shot to start, you put it in panorama mode, and then as you pan the camera to the right, you have some X's that will line up, and then it will automatically take 4 total shots, as if you were sweeping the camera from left to right, and then it stitches it together. It's pretty amazing. All right, so one of the things I love about this camera, y'all, is it gives a lot of different settings that you can go to. And as you can see, it's amazing that a camera that is this inexpensive has all the different separate features that you see on the screen, as well as this next set of features, which is auto scene, sport, beach, sunset, fireworks. I mean, the camera is under $200 and it literally goes through all these different settings that you can do for special effects. The thing I love about it also is you have a landscape mode, portrait mode, night portrait mode, back. I mean, this is amazing for the price, and the quality is very, very decent. That's why it gets such a good rating. It also offers you, look, this is my shot that, God, I am aging. No effects on this shot. The next shot, though, as you can see, comparatively, it does do a skin soften effect on the right, which definitely makes a difference. Take a look at those 2 shots. Then look at the one with this is your second feature, skin softening plus eye brightening effect on the right compared to the left, which has no effects. And finally, look at this one where it actually enlarges your eyes. Again, very, very, very good camera for the price. A lot of great extra little perks. Let's go on. All right, everybody. So this has been a digital film, but in this case, digital photo guy doing a review on the Kodak PixPro AZ252 digital camera. This camera is a great buy at under $200. You've seen all the different things that it can do. You can work on automatic mode, you can work on manual mode, you can work on aperture priority. It really is a great camera. If you like what you see, if you like what you heard, as I told you, I'm a teacher. That was my bell to get back to class. Have a good one. Subscribe. Peace.